Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about electric skateboards. So I have been riding with my electric skateboard for almost 2 years already, and I'm coming to point where I'm having an issue a little bit with my battery. So it's degraded that bad that basically I'm not riding this skateboard anymore, and yeah, I need to look for upgrade. So what upgrade options do I have? I can upgrade battery on this board simply by replacing it, or I can upgrade with new skateboard, or maybe I shouldn't be riding at all. Nah, that's not happening. It's just too much fun. So what options do I have? I was looking to change the battery on this one, but then I'm coming to question again, what kind of battery should I put in? Because you see, what is the problem with this one? When you are buying a board, it states that the battery should last up to like 500 charging cycles. And I can honestly tell that I'm not even probably close to 50, and this battery is already gone. Why it's happening? There is many small cells. To be exact, there is 50 small cells inside, and once the one cell is start drying, it will affect the rest of them, and it's just like drastically going down the hill. And yeah, at this point I probably can do only 5 kilometers on this board now. How bad is the battery from the 20 originally, which it was? So should I put a better batteries inside? I think it's probably a good time to upgrade this board to something better, because I feel that I can step up and go with new board. I'm not getting rid of this one. I still probably look for options to change this battery, because it's still powerful board and very nice for somebody who is coming over and wants to have some fun. So where it's coming to upgrading this skateboard, there are many companies these days who are making electric skateboards all around the world, but there is only one company specifically which I'm looking at, and the company is Meepo. Why Meepo specifically? Because I have been following this company for many years already, and I see how they have been grown since then. And yeah, the company originally is from China, and the guy who is owning this company, he is participated in many competitions, and yeah, he must be very clever with all the ideas he have coming from those competitions, where he see how to improve those skateboards and make them even better. And that is why they have probably the best production skateboards in the market these days, which is Meepo Hurricane. This is probably the best board you can buy for the money. And now there is new upgrade just came out, where they're offering you to kind of make your own skateboard yourself, and that calls Meepo Hurricane Ultra, and that is what we are looking today at. So I will bring you to the screen and we will go over, because there is many options which you can choose, and I will probably explain you what we are looking at when we are choosing what we would need to build for our specific need. So it's more clear for you, and yeah, I hope you will enjoy it. So let's get to the screen and I will show you and explain everything here. Okay, so we are currently on the Meepo website, and that's the only website you will ever need to buy an electric skateboard for yourself, because they're offering everything what you will ever need. So currently we are on a Hurricane Ultra page, and this is where we can build our own Hurricane Ultra skateboard. So first of all, let's start with the deck. So they offer two decks, either it's gonna be bamboo or carbon. Bamboo deck is new for Meepo in this Hurricane kind of option, because original Hurricane came only in carbon version. When would you like to choose carbon deck, bamboo deck over the carbon? If you are lighter in weight and you like the flex of the board, because carbon deck not gonna flex at all. It's very stiff, which is good for the higher speeds. So if you are looking to ride faster, the carbon deck is probably a better option for you. If you are heavier like me, over 100 kilograms, carbon deck is only option for you, because bamboo deck will be simply too soft for you. Also, you need to keep in mind that the carbon deck is a bit bigger than the bamboo deck, and it sits a bit higher as well, simply because of design, how they are built. In bamboo deck, all the battery and everything is under the deck, where in carbon deck, everything is built inside in a deck. Okay, the next option what we have is the kind of tracks itself. What are the difference here? So we have either traditional kingpin or double kingpin. What are the difference here is that with the traditional kingpin, you will have less speed wobble, but you will lose as well on the turn radius. By going with double kingpins, you will have a better turn radius, simply because what is the difference here? Imagine you have a track and then you have one bushing or you have two bushings. So two bushings will flex more and that will give you that better turn radius. Having issues with turn radius on my current skateboard, I see, and I would go only and definitely with the dual kingpins, because the turn radius is very important on a daily basis, especially if you are riding on tight spaces where you need to make like tight corners. With my old skateboard that was impossible, so I needed to stop, lift it up or turn it or whatever. Sometimes just I couldn't cross the road simply because I couldn't turn over, you know, and you just need to stop all the time. And yeah, it's something to keep in mind. When it's coming to speed wobbles, what you can do, you see when you are buying a skateboard, it's not made specifically for your weight, because they don't know how big, how heavy you are. So it's just screwed together and you definitely will need to go over and adjust it for yourself. So if you will go with bamboo deck, it's gonna be $200 cheaper than the carbon deck. So in my case, I will go with carbon deck and dual kingpins. And as you can see, the price rise $200 more than it was before. Now, the next option which we have is the drive mode and wheels. So there is something I want to explain. So in earlier days till now, we had two options. We had either the belt-driven skateboards, and we had the hub motors, which is basically motor built into the wheel. The hub motors suck because they are not powerful enough, and it's just not an option, and that is why the belt-driven motors was the most powerful, with best torque and best overall, you know, they sound better as well. So that was option till now, because the Meepo came out with the gearbox. What is the gearbox? The gearbox basically using the same motor which you have on a belt-driven, but instead of belt you have gears inside. That is why it calls gearbox. And what are the differences here? They telling that gearbox has kind of less friction, so it spins freely, so that would be a benefit where you could gain more range out of the board, because it has less friction on kind of turning parts, and you will gain much more torque with the gears, simply because the belt can slip and that's your torque will go nowhere. So in normal use, like I do, I'm riding for my joy, and I'm not participating in any races. Would I go with gearbox? Please note that the price difference again is $200 between the belt drive and the gearbox. If you are fine paying more, go with gearbox, because I don't see any kind of downside of it. It's probably better than the belt. But I didn't have any problems with belts so far as well. So I've been driving for 2 years with belts. I have replacements just in case I need if it snaps or something, but I never had problems, so I don't see really an issue here. One more thing what you need to know if you are choosing the gearbox is that you probably won't be able to put the on-road wheels on your Hurricane skateboard if you decide in the future, simply because of design how the gearbox is made. So with belts, you still can change, buy parts from Meepo and change your wheels to on-road wheels if you want to try out something like that. But with gearbox, yeah, it's probably not going to be impossible, so you only will stick with AT wheels. If you need on-road wheels, it's really up to you. In my personal opinion, where I see people buying 2-in-1 skateboards where you can convert, which original Hurricane came in that completation that it was 2-in-1 board basically, where you buy the on-road wheels or AT wheels. You basically get them, both of them, and then you can swap as you want. Then everybody who is riding on-road wheels, they like the board, how it looks. It's much more sportier and looks much cooler. They didn't really like the AT wheels, how they look on the board, but once they put them on, start riding, they recognize that that's the better way to go, because you have much better traction and it feels much softer. You have much more comfort, and they ending up using AT wheels all the time, simply because they are that good. So for those people who were complaining about the look of the AT wheels, so the third ones here, those are the AT pneumatic wheels. The Meepo had, first Hurricane when came out, they had the pneumatic wheels a bit smaller in the size. I do believe it was 165 mil in diameter. Now they increased to bigger ones because there was problems with tubes. They was easily breaking on those smaller wheels, so they upgraded to those bigger ones. Yeah, so that's the kind of option currently with the AT wheels. But now they came out with two other options. So the middle ones are Cyclone wheels 110S, which is still with tube inside. Please note that difference between on-road wheels and AT wheels. The AT wheels were using tubes all the time inside, so you need to watch after the tire pressure. I'm doing this once a month nearly, because it is losing that pressure. And yeah, the tubes are breaking as well. That's what I had in my experience as well from the past 2 years riding electric skateboard. So that's something to keep in mind. And now the first option, which we have, the Cyclone wheels 165S, they are tubeless. They are also wider than traditional pneumatic wheels, so they have much more traction on the hard surface. But keep in mind that that traction is not as good as pneumatic wheels on off-road conditions. Because they are wider, they have much more surface kind of area, but same as a car in the winter, if you have very wide wheels, they will just simply slide everywhere. If you have narrower wheels, they will grab much more, especially on the side movement, because they just grab better on that kind of slippery surface better. So that's kind of to keep in mind. Also, you need to keep in mind that those CNC kind of made wheels, they are heavier than the pneumatic wheels. That could be the reason where you could lose a little bit of range by using those wheels. Yes, they are look cool, they're much better looking, but they are heavier, so rotating mass is much more heavier, and that's where you can lose a little bit. Where it's coming to torque, you could lose as well, because rotating mass is heavier, but by having that much torque for Hurricane skateboard, you probably never gonna run out of the torque it offers. It's gonna be always way too much for you anyways. So yeah, in my case, I will just go with the belt drive and 175mm pneumatic wheels. And as you can see, that brings $200 down from the gearbox. As you can see, gearbox. Also, depending on the wheels, you see the new kind of CNC wheels costs more than the pneumatic wheels itself. So now my price is $1,399 again, even choosing the carbon. If I would go with bamboo deck, it would be $1,199. And the last thing what they are offering you is the battery itself. So there are two types of batteries available. And the biggest difference is basically the power of the battery itself. So the Samsung 40T battery has bigger cells, so they have much more capacity, and that means twice as much range as the traditional 20R batteries, which I do believe as well is Samsung batteries. So when it's coming to batteries, there is only one road: get the biggest battery you can get, simply because the range can never be too much. It can be not enough, but it cannot be too much. And as I have currently problems with the range and the battery, this is definitely only one choice. The price will, of course, depends on which option you will choose. Again, by going up to $200. But yeah, stick with bigger battery and get as much fun as you can out from this board. So that's it about the options to choose. So as you can see, currently my kind of Hurricane Ultra skateboard would cost me $1,399. This is just now while they're offering the kind of Halloween discount, which is 22%. Otherwise, the regular price would be $1,799 for this board. So this is a really good deal currently. And if you are hunting for the skateboard, just go get it now, because trust me, the price will go back to normal and you will lose, because this is the biggest offer as well so far I saw what they are offering. Yeah, you can go and check out all the delivery times, how much it's gonna take. Please note that this board is new, it's not pre-made, it's not nowhere in like warehouses, so expect that they need to build it up and ship it out. So it will take some time, but once they will catch up with it, it probably will be available in Europe kind of warehouse and in States as well, so that keep in mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I gave you the clarity, what options to choose and when. And now you can go and build your skateboard of your dreams and enjoy it as much as you can, because the life is just one. And yeah, I don't see really a point not doing this. So if this content was helpful, consider to hit that like. All the links will be down below in the description. And if you want to see more from me, consider to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.